Hi everyone, and welcome to the Top Football Predictions Game Week 15 results. And as always, I'm here with Atul Jani.
Hello there, pundits, and welcome for a fun-filled fact week.
Well, hopefully it will be, mate. It's been ages since we've done a video. We've been really busy.
Yeah.
Christmas is upon us. And yeah, it's been a little while, hasn't it?
Well, it has been a while. I mean, you just take a look at me. Look, I had no hair before. Now look at that.
Me as well. Have we got like a corporate barber that comes around here and it's shaved us completely, isn't it?
Well, it has, yeah, but I don't think I've used him for the last few weeks.
Well, yeah, and I'm looking at like just for men. That's just because my scores and stuff are going wrong this season. But let's get straight into it. Before we get to game week 16, we must take a review. Game week 15, we had some really good scores going on, didn't we, mate?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I think it was due a couple of weeks. There was a bit of a lull. It's difficult, isn't it? Especially with the ones where there's a midweek fixtures going on.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I think there was quite a few good scores. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we must say round of applause, Ricardo.
Yeah.
210 points. I mean, that's just a really good score, to be honest. No joker cards were played, and don't forget, this is on the back of Craig winning Manager of the Month. He picked up points from game week 14, so he picked up the monthly points of 50 extra bonus points. But Ricardo definitely stamped his authority on game week 15, and some really good scores going in.
Yeah, listen, mate, it's fantastic to see people getting points, and especially some huge scores as well. And it just makes it all interesting, and you know, it's exciting to see who gets what, and you can see and hear that on the chatter itself.
Yeah, absolutely. People are starting to really kind of go for it. And I must admit, you've got Alessandro, 155 points. He put his highest performance in this season, but equally, I think someone else did all right on game week 15.
Well done, mate. Well done, Mark.
Unbelievable. Finally, I've joined the party. My season starts from game week 15. 200 points. Boom. He's back in the game.
Well done, well done. I mean, I was a little bit frightened that you were being left behind or adrift. But
Elf on the shelf, mate. I'm telling you, I was a bit frightened as well, to be honest.
It's a bit of a so-called festive cheer for you. So let's see if you can build on it. And it's not just yourself, but everyone else as well. So, you know, it gets the predictions will be coming in thick and fast now. But we could talk about that briefly a little bit later. But let's focus on these. You know, quite a few people have got over 100 points as well. So you mentioned the 200 pointers, but there's a few there.
Absolutely. We've got Lee, 175 points. I mean, brilliant score. You know, we've got our, I think, was it Gavin? I mean, Gavin's doing well this season. He's got 110 points. He's saying a few funny things on that group, and you know, he's been, I think last season he was a bit inconsistent, but he's quietly going about his business, isn't he?
I think he's learnt from mistakes of last season as well, because there was a stage, remember, early part of last season.
He forgot to get some in, didn't he?
Yeah, and he was rock bottom, and all of a sudden, boom, he had like 1 or 2 big weeks, and he was right up there in the mix. And
absolutely.
He tailed off, but still, you know, he's learnt from it, so he's a bit more of a steady Eddie. I mean, Akram did well. He's done well, 100 points as well.
Do you know what? Akram's having a really good season, to be fair. Do you know what? He's consistently in the 100-point club nowadays, isn't he?
Yeah.
And Mads, 140 points, doing really well as well.
Mads is picking up the pace, which I like. You know, he's good, sensible predictions as well, you know.
Charlie, 125, another good game week, back-to-back. He's, you know, producing some good scores there, I must admit.
And if you think of it, Charlie has a lot of thought behind those predictions as well. So again, like as I mentioned with Akram's sensible predictions.
What I like about Charlie's ones is he's had like a 0-0 and a 1-1 now and again. They actually come off. He's not just messing around. He puts some proper thought into those. But Tom as well, 115 points, and yeah, good scoring there. I think he got three dead on, plus he got some Super 6 points. So there's some nice points being banded around, and obviously there's still some good performances like Daniel Deadley, 90 points, almost made the 100-point club.
Sure.
Frank as well, 80 points. So it's not just about the bigger scorers, but it all adds up. And like we always say, and especially for my case this season, don't write yourself off even if you're like 200, 300, 400, 500 points behind.
No, for sure. And you know, you've still got joker cards to play, and you might be doing well, and all of a sudden it just goes off the rails, and lo and behold, people below you might be having stonking weeks, and it makes up for the lost ground. And there's still a hell of a lot of points to play.
Oh yeah,
we've still got the bonus points as well. I know there's one or two categories which are shut off now, obviously, but there's still a few there, and a lot of people keeping a keen eye on the missed penalties and then the top goal scorer. Even the bottom three predictions is looking at the moment. We were talking about this at Predictions Towers. Very iffy at the moment, because a lot of people threw Burnley into the mix, Brighton into the mix, and I'm not to say they will be relegated, and sorry for putting a dampener on those supporters, but at the moment it doesn't look like the case. And the surprise team, Everton, they are a surprise.
Word.
They are a surprise, sort of, for the wrong reasons.
But will Big Sam get them going? And I mean, what a big game they've got this weekend in game week 16, which we're going to touch on because it's the Merseyside derby. But Big Sam's back in. No, there's loads to play for. Craig, as I said, picked up the 50 extra bonus points for Player of the Month. So, they've got those kinds of points this season. Game week 16 coming up, I'm just about to touch on, is another Predictions Cup week, right? But this season, there's also points, and I think Ricardo's the only player so far to have them, that if you win your Predictions Cup match by 100 or more points, you actually get another 50 points on top. So this season, there are multiple ways which you can earn points, and I need to fathom that out. But basically, you're still at the top, mate, in terms of the current league table of where we are today. You're first, Ricardo second. But in actual fact, it flips round for the end of season real live table. 10 points. He's got you by the neck by 10 points. What are you saying about that, mate? Because you've been out in front, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's really good to see people doing well and to making a competition of it. I think it just highlights at the end of the day how important those bonus points are, and you can see it. I may be scoring the points and I may be on top, but at the end of the day, those bonus points will count. And as I said, the lead is only a slender 10 points, but then again, at the end of the day, you could have people in third, fourth, and fifth. So Alessandro, Martin, Tom, even Lee, etc., etc. If you start accumulating those bonus points, boom, you're up that table.
Well, Tom's in 5th place and he's 100 points behind you. So, behind Ricardo. So the top 5 only 100 points separating. That's nothing. You get a hot shot game, right? That's 90 points right there.
And plus, if you add your bonus points, as I was saying, it really does make a difference.
Absolutely,
so positions, you will notice the penultimate week and then the final calculated week will actually vary a fair bit, because the bonus points will get factored in. For yourself, Mark. You've done it several times.
It's a funny old season, really, because like myself and other people got like Lukaku for top goal scorer this season. He's hit a bit of a dip, but like the old league table, so who knows what's going on there? The old league table, I mean, I'm not into it, but like it could be Formula One. You've got Ricardo, Atul, Alessandro. It's like Italy, United Kingdom, Italy. Who knows what's going to go on? But there's many little rivalry, little battles going on all over the place. But and that leads me to game week 16, which is the upcoming now from tomorrow. First game is a real old tasty affair. It's West Ham Chelsea, and also, like I've been saying, it's the Predictions Cup round, and I'm actually not playing a game. I'm having a rest week. I need a bit of a rest, but. Again, there's some nice little battles there as I look along, to be honest. And like we said, Daniel Ledley's doing well, Akram's doing well. They're facing each other off in the Predictions Cup this week, so I might take a little keen interest on that. You're playing Gary. Gary's always quite vocal in the group, and I don't know, he's going to be quite passionate.
Yeah, he's going to be passionate, and good
rerun of the final of the Predictions Cup last season.
There you go. There you go. So,
hope you're watching, Gary.
He'll pull it off. He'll do well.
Anyway, talking to Gary, his beloved West Ham. West Ham in absolute all trouble. All ends up against home to Chelsea, who are looking a little bit of a machine at the moment. But it's at Upton Park. These two teams have got form against each other. What are you saying about that game this week?
I mean, as much as people think that West Ham have got a huge job to try and turn things around, and to be honest, it's the wrong time to get Chelsea at the end of the day. Chelsea are free-flowing. Their midweek result may have not been that well in the Champions League, but by the by, their league form is quite consistent, and it's a London derby alongside the other derbies, which we'll briefly talk about a little bit later on. But I see it's a Chelsea win, unfortunately, so sorry for the West Ham supporters. could be a draw, but it just seems that there's a slight lack of confidence up front. I mean, I know Moyes is working consistently hard with the defence side, and I think there's a rumour that Hart may be dropped for the game.
Yeah, I'm hearing that as well. But
it's all interesting.
It is, but Morata's got his boots back. I tell you who he's upset. He's never gone away, but a slow start, I think, with injury because of that. But Hazard, he's how can you control him? He's unbelievable when he's on fire.
Kante back in the mix as well.
Yeah, Kante or Kante, I don't know. But you've got the hot shot game, mate. It's worth 90 points unless it doubles up for, well, not doubles, but unless it goes to a goalfest game, if anybody predicts that. But you've got Huddersfield versus Brighton. Where's that one going? Where's the spoils going there?
Listen, I think that's a really intriguing game, and there is another game which I'll touch on a little bit later, but Huddersfield-Brighton, as I said from day one, I've got a soft spot for Huddersfield, and I always keep an eye out on their results, and I'm really proud of what they're doing. I'm going to be biased, and I'm going to tip my hat towards Huddersfield.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Hughton's done well with Brighton. He pulled out some mercurial results, to be honest. I remember they went to, not getting on you, Gary, I remember where they went to West Ham this season and put 3-0 in. But I don't know. I just think, I think probably Huddersfield will tip it. I don't think it'll be a big scoring game, but who knows. I've got Tottenham-Stoke. It's not a special game. It's not like a double points, but it's Wembley again, and it's Tottenham, and amazing in the Champions League. Yes, I said that as an Arsenal fan. But Stoke are starting to find feet with Crouch and co. And I probably favour Spurs, but that's not going to be easier. And I think that teams like Stoke, with all due respect, when you're playing at Wembley, you get the chance to play at Wembley in a season, and might be raising their game against Spurs.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I don't know. There's something funny about Spurs. I think they've taken their focus off the league form itself, and they've really focused on the Champions League. You know, I think they've seen the rewards and the reaps of Champions League, and I just feel that their form in the league has dipped quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, which is quite alarming. I'm tipping my hat, I think, at this stage with Spurs. I mean, the Wembley factor is now bitten the dust, and I think they've moved on from there.
Okay, mate. Well, we've got this always intrigues me, this one. Absolutely. I can't get it right, but Newcastle-Leicester is the first goal scorer game. Now, there's been certain things called out in the WhatsApp group, and we're all looking at this, and you don't want a heavily present kind of top 6 team, because I guess majority of people would go with the strike force of a top 6 team. But these two teams on paper could do well. Probably people might still go like Vardy or whoever plays up front, but Gale scored the other week for Newcastle. I mean, this is going to be an interesting battle, actually. I don't know. I'm going to make my prediction, but I don't know which way this might go. But again, it's not always the case that the first goal scorer team actually go on to win. But I don't know. It's at St James's. It could be interesting, couldn't it, mate? Yeah.
Listen, I mean, Rafa will always have his team set up, to play well. I've got to say, I'm really impressed with Leicester, the way they've played and the way they are playing now since Shakespeare's departure. They play really exciting, sexy football in my eyes.
Who's in now? Is it Claude? What his name is? Yeah.
Former Southampton.
Southampton, yeah.
And he's got them really playing well, and they seem to be, you just look at the likes of Vardy and Mahrez, they're really ticking now again.
Yeah. So,
it's a difficult one to call.
I think it's all about Mahrez's new coloured hair. I think that's what that's all about. So obviously I'm biased. We have to talk about Southampton Arsenal. Arsenal just last night got a thumping 6-0 win against Bat Borisov, however you pronounce that. Southampton, especially at home, they're no sitting duck though, are they? They could cause a few upsets with the guy up front. What's his name? Gabbiadini or something. So what are you saying about that one, mate?
Listen, I don't think as Southampton are as strong and consistent as I would have liked them to be, begrudgingly me mentioning that as a Portsmouth supporter. But,
easy, mate.
Mate,
you've got Charlton at the weekend. That could be a big... sorry, taking off the predictions.
Listen, that's real football.
Charlton are at home and they're doing well. But anyway, no, you've got an uphill challenge there. But Southampton, Arsenal, yeah.
Yeah, I think Arsenal have still got points,
hopefully,
so they should hopefully see that one.
Sounds like Ozil and Sanchez aren't actually going anywhere in January, and we're just going to wait till the end of the season. But which could prove well for our momentum. And little Jack's back, and he's looking very nice, isn't he? So, okay. So we get to the end of the weekend and we've got Liverpool-Everton. Blockbuster if you're in Merseyside.
Who's going to be the pride of Merseyside?
Hey. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They're talking about the Fab Four hitting 7, didn't they, in midweek? And Sturridge ain't even back for. I mean, that's quite frightening because if he comes back as well, and you've got Firmino and Coutinho,
fantastic
and
5 then, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, Coutinho is I'm sure he's Barcelona bound, but it's Big Sam's first Merseyside derby. They've just won last night in Europe, which they haven't been doing. I don't know what you're saying. Draw, Liverpool, Reds, Blue. Where are you going with this one, mate?
I'm pinning my badge on the red side. And,
they're just too hot at the moment, aren't they?
They're too hot. They're playing at home.
Yeah.
I think the victory Everton did yesterday was a full change team anyway.
Yeah.
It'll be damage limitation. Allardyce will focus on defending, trying to minimise the loss.
I think that this game and maybe the next one we're going to talk about as well, which ends the weekend, we could see some players coming in with some goal fest predictions here, because you've got another blockbuster. It's a Super 6 game. It's Man United, Man City.
Yeah,
Mourinho, Guardiola.
Yeah, renewing their rivalries again. It's going to be quite an interesting one. City have won back-to-back league games for about
back-to-back. I think it's 13, mate.
Yeah, 13. But then you look at Man United; they haven't lost at home for quite a few months now. So you can see it as an intriguing game. It'll be a proper game of chess.
Yeah.
Mourinho is well known for parking the bus. So at the end of the day, I wouldn't surprise me on.
Well, he's at home. He's got to come out. But I mean, Pep. I mean, there's no better team who's been drilled than City. I mean, he's got Sterling playing. This is not going to be a cakewalk for either team. But I mean, if you're asking me, it's going to be tight. But I think I just can't stop the City bus at the moment. It just goes on, and I mean they're pulling out 96-minute winners with Sterling. I mean
that's what says it all at the end of the day. And I was watching the Kevin De Bruyne being interviewed in the last game they played at home. Was it against West Ham?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
And
West Ham held out well there.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of the teams have cottoned onto who to man mark. Sane, Silva, and De Bruyne, they're being cancelled out of the game, so it's getting more and more difficult. They even said it's getting more and more difficult to get the ball and to get score, and that's why they're drilling the win in the 90s. Because a lot of teams are shutting them down, so it's going to get difficult.
But this is the difference between the teams. I think David Silva is going to be old little twinkle toes wizard. Is going to be out for the game, but then they'll just bring in Bernardo Silva, who they got during the summer, and he's absolutely phenomenal from what we've seen.
And if you think of it, United are going to miss out on Pogba.
Yeah, well they will. Yeah, because
then at the end of the day, their last line of defence is De Gea, and he's playing stonking.
Let's not go into it. Weekend against Arsenal. I mean, performance of the season for quite a few seasons, to be fair, but. No, it's going to be an exciting game week. In summary, we've got game week 16. There's, as I say, Super 6, hot shot, first goal scorer points. We've got the Predictions Cup as well. It's the second week of the December Player of the Month to go for. There's absolutely loads going on.
Loads.
Next week, game week 17, sees midweek action, and I've got to take all the predictions in. So. It's going to be busy again, so as and when you can, try and get your predictions in quick. I know this is a long video. We've been away.
So many weeks.
Yeah, definitely the last one before Christmas because we're here, there and everywhere busy with everything. But I hope you're enjoying the game. As we said, there's some really good player performances going on out there, and hopefully we can capitalise on some of those as well. But we'll always try and highlight you guys where you're doing good business, and just keep it going, guys. And just look out for those points.
Yeah, indeed. And good luck to everyone. And may you get loads and loads of points, and it be a bumper festive season for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
So make the most of it. Get your predictions in on time, because these fixtures will be coming in thick and fast. So we need to get them in on time. Need to process them, and need to get the feedback and the predictions out to you guys as well. So please, it's the most important.
We haven't got any bubbly here, unfortunately, mate. It's still a working day, Friday after all. But this is probably the last Christmas video before Christmas. So whilst we're together, Jarny and House, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year,
season's greetings.
Enjoy yourselves, and yeah, it's all about the predictions, right?
Yeah.